Hi, it is Father's Day 2021. And even though I tried to post on Wednesdays, because it's Father's Day, I absolutely have to talk about one of the first teachers that captured my interest. Without disrespecting my own father, who taught me so much. I had a fantastic father, really, truly exceptional character, but spirituality was just not really on the agenda. So at the age of 29, my first book was small, with the idea of spirituality, and that was Celestine Prophecy. But right after that, I met David Bartley, and he actually turned me on to Wayne Dyer. And in 1998, I saw Wayne Dyer speak for the first time, and it wasn't just what he said, but how he said it, the way he delivered. I have called him Daddy Dyer for years. I was so hooked that I went on to meet Wayne 5 times. Like, every time he spoke, I just had to be there. Like, he's incredibly well known, and you can almost follow his progression through his books, right? You could see how he grew and changed. They called him the father of motivation back in the 70s, I believe. Oh yeah, and Wayne has quite a story. Growing up in an orphanage, like the coming to terms with his own father. But again, being Father's Day, I have to touch on Daddy Dyer. If you have not listened to Wayne, there's so many books, so many lectures. He was very, very involved with public television. You can find PBS specials. In June of the year 2000, I saw him speak at the Dante Club in Sacramento. And this was the first time in my life, and the only, it's not like I worked on this ability, but as I watched him speak, I saw his aura. It was just this blue energy, which I believe is truth, all around him. Every time I would see Wayne, I took meticulous notes. I could pull out of my file cabinet 3 pages of typed notes from that night, because I'm listening to the teachers that he's quoting and then going back and doing research. Who's Patanjali? Rumi? Like, oh yeah. Why can I not think of the name of the father of quantum physics? Max Planck. Like, I just couldn't, like, this man seems to have some real freaking answers, and he's drawing on some real wisdom. So we definitely want to listen to what he has to say and then check it out for ourselves. That night that I met Wayne at the Dante Club, I had a couple girlfriends with me, and he was so gracious about book signings and meet and greets. It's something he sort of had to stop doing in his later years, but he looked at me that night and said, "You've never looked more beautiful." Like he'd known me my whole life. Well, if energy is a thing, and we know that it is, I was so enwrapped in his and everything that he was saying that I have no doubt that I was glowing that night. And I'll post a picture here at the end. Anyway, yeah, I can't overstate enough. Like, he had an inner wisdom library on cassette tape. At the first time I saw him speak at the Holiday Inn in Sacramento in 1998, and I just, everything please now. Oh my God, his voice is soothing. He's funny. Oh my gosh. And he talks about reprogramming our subconscious, and that is probably where I developed my habit of putting on something before I go to sleep at night. What What are you putting in that your brain is going to cook on? Yeah. Yeah, his studies, because he did study, were broad and wide as well. All right, enough about Daddy Dyer. I'll put some links. You probably know who he is. Just listen to him. Happy Father's Day.
I just allow the words to come through me onto the page. And as I was sitting there and allowing this to happen, I began to realize that there was something greater going on here. And as the days went by, and as I wrote each day, getting up early in the morning, and I did this years and years ago when I first started speaking. I used to speak with notes and have everything all very carefully written out and so on. And there came a time when I could no longer do that. I just had to speak from my heart, which is exactly what I'm doing here with you today in this program. And when you surrender to this, when you begin to allow this force in the universe to work through you, you begin to realize that everything that shows up here in this world shows up from a source, from a place, from an energy, from a field, whatever you want to call it.